be friendly. I will come back.
Hi, Doug. Skip, you're on TV.
Smile, camera.
Where's the corn? They better cut it. Okay. Hi, Sarah.
How are you? Welcome to the house.
Thank you. This is where it's all going to happen tonight.
This is where it's happening.
Great.
Hi, welcome. Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm coming.
Make yourselves at home. There's a lot of literature that we have on our tables and a wonderful one-room classroom upstairs.
Okay.
If you have any questions, let us know.
Okay.
I have a question. What are the festivities for the evening?
Well, they're going to have storytelling outside for the children. They're going to go out for apples. Chairs are set up on the side. They have pumpkin baking on the back.
Let's see, the door to back is there. There it is, door to the back. Oh, I think I got a magnet. Empty helmet. How do you open?
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Well, we're going to get started here in just a second. I'm going to need some room up front, so kids, you gotta move back. I don't want to step on you. I don't like using the microphone unless I absolutely have to. I have a very strong voice. In fact, when I was born, the nurse came up to my mother and said, "Madame, you have another Caruso." And my mother said, "Why do you say that?" And the nurse said, "Because out of all the babies in the nursery, he's the one who cries the loudest." How'd you like to hear that as your first words, eh? Out of the nurse's mouth. Bonsoir. Je m'appelle Genot Picor. It means enchanté. This means my name is Genot Picor. I am the distant son of the French and Wyandot nations. And today I come to you as a ghost from Michigan's past to celebrate the beginnings of this great community. Before I begin, let me tell you that my ancestors many years ago plied these great waters in their canoes. And as a scout, it would have been my job to go ahead of the company and off in the distance light a fire for them so that they could see that food and shelter and safety awaited them. And of course, fun. Because if there's one thing that we French know how to do, it's throw a party. And we're going to have a little party tonight. Looking at the weather, this is the story that first came to my mind. Are the two of you brothers? Which one is taller? Jim? All right, come on. You'll help me with this story. You too, come. Which one of you is older? You're older and he's taller? All right, for today, you're going to be older because you're a little taller. I'm going to show you and tell you what to do as we do this story. Are you ready? Are you ready? He's not too... He's pretty silent, huh? Correct? You don't say too much? No? What grade are you in? What, your mama pushed you away from the table when you were a little boy? All right, here's how this story goes. Long ago, in this place that today we call Michigan, two brothers decided to run a race. Go ahead, run in place for us. Show us how fast you can run in place. Oh, yes. Very good, just like that. The older brother, you can stop now. I don't want you to, The older brother, whenever he ran, he brought warm skies, warm temperatures, and lots of sun. He brought this whenever he smiled. Like this. Oh, but this made the younger brother very angry. Pump it up. And so the younger brother decided that when the older brother slept, he would run past him in the night very quickly. And when he would run past him, he would bring gray skies and cold weather. But whenever the older brother woke up and smiled, he brought the warm weather with him. And so it was. As it is in Michigan, the weather changes very quickly. Today we call this Indian summer in Michigan. The sign for Michigan. Here's the sign for Michigan. Left hand, right hand, like this. But when the weather changes quickly to the native people like myself, we say that the two brothers are running their race. Very good, my young friend. How about a story in sign language, which is very important to your community before we get to the old French stories? Like this. Hold up your right hand. Put your two fingers together like this and move your right hand towards your body. Long ago, the great Spirit Manitou saw the great waters to the north. No, that's south. You gotta point this way, north. Point this way. People from Harper Wood's gonna move in. No. I'm teasing. North. The great Spirit said,
Colleen, do you want to go get a donut?
will make two great rivers. One to the north and one to the south. And in the middle, I will make a thumbprint in the land. The great waters to the north will cover all the land. And so I made the two great rivers with the thumbprint in the middle. In the thumbprint, I put many, you'll like this sign, fishes. And many tall grasses. And many birds. I will call the thumbprint Atzitkita, Kichi, Gami, which means at the foot of the great waters. But today, the thumbprint is called Lake St. Clair. And so it is even to this day. A Genot Picor original pour vous. And also, as I was sitting last night in front of my fire, I was reminded of the most fearsome creature to ever inhabit these woods, or shores, or points, or farms, or
Proper.
parks, that's right. Oh, let's see here. You can help me. Come. Gonna lose the hat and the glasses. Madame, would you please? I was reminded of this creature called Tsugami. Tsugami was as big as a human, had wings and a spear at the top of his forehead from which he took the blood of all living creatures. All of you can play creatures. They said, "Oh, great spirit, send us someone to do battle with this Tsugami." The keeper of the heavens came to at first reason and counsel, and he said to him, "Tsugami, do you think you can learn, raise your right hands, to live in peace with everyone?" Tsugami shook his head and said, well, that's all Tsugami ever said. And so it was, a terrible battle ensued, and they fought for many, many days, and Keeper of the Heavens picked him up and said, "Tsugami, have you had enough?" And Tsugami shook his head and said, Keeper of the Heavens took him over to a rock and threw him on a rock. Woo! Whoops. Sorry. Where his body exploded into millions of droplets of blood. And from these droplets of blood came millions of other Tsugami, tiny Tsugami. And they surrounded Keeper of the Heavens, and he couldn't fight them all. And he ran back to the Great Spirit and said, "There's nothing that I can do. Tsugami, in this tiny form, will forever be with the people and creatures of Grosse Pointe." And so it is. Tsugami is with us today. Most likely in this very spot, right now at this moment. But today we call him Mosquito. Very good, my great friend. And now some legends of old Grosse Pointe from the French perspective. Let's see here. I need a big strapping young man. Big strapping young man. All right. I didn't say that. He's a horse. His name is Cabriel. Cabriel was the finest horse that was owned in this place that is today called Grosse Pointe, and many years ago, Windmill Point. He was owned by a man named Louis. Louis had no friends, you see. All Louis cared about was his fine horse, Cabriel. Louis would brag about how great Cabriel was, and all the people finally got tired of him and said, "Oh, Louis, all of you." Oh, Louis. No, I'm telling you, he's as great and as fast as I say he is. Oh, Louis. And finally, one day, when the weather became cold and all the water froze, Louis said, "I will take Cabriel in my sleigh out on this lake, on this river, and race any horse and any horseman with their sleigh, anyone who wishes to try." And so it was, many people volunteered. And Louis, he always ran the race, won this race. "Show us, Cabriel, how fast you trot." Get a picture, get a picture. Very good. And so it was, all the residents knew that Cabriel was the fastest horse around. And one day, no one would race with him anymore. And so Louis would ask, "Would you race with me?" And all the people said, "Oh, Louis." And so it was. Even though no one would race with Louis, he still bragged about Cabriel. Let's see here, I need someone else to help me with this. How about you? Yes, right over there. You, little girl. Yes, come.
I was still you and me.
In the old French language, she was the equivalent of an Irish leprechaun, but in French we say lutine. Say this. Lutine. Now, Cabriel, could you move over there for just a second? Thank you. Lutines are noted by their laughter. Can you laugh?
Yes.
Show us. Very good. Here is how this story goes. One day, Louis went to his favorite restaurant, and as he came out of this restaurant, he found Cabriel was sweating and panting. And his beautiful mane was all knotted up. You know this story? Many people thought when Louis told this story to his neighbors that it was the work of a lutine. And all the neighbors said, "Oh, Louis." And so it was the next night. Louis went to the same restaurant and came out, and there he saw Cabriel, who was sweating and panting again. And so Louis went around to his neighbors one more time and said, "There is a lutine on the loose in this neighborhood." And all the neighbors said, "Oh, Louis." And so it was. Louis didn't know what to do. And so he said, "I am going to keep an eye out, and I am going to watch for this lutine, and I'm going to keep my musket, and of course, my holy water, because every good French Canadian always had some holy water." And so it was. As he watched one night, as Cabriel was tied up outside the barn, he heard the most terrible laughter. Like the bar. Do it like the bar. That's pretty good, huh? my friend right here. When Louis scratched his eyes and opened up his eyes as much as he could see, this lutein was on his back. And the lutein was riding around with this on the back of Gabrielle's. And there was poor Gabrielle going crazy, with his whinnying. And there, of course, was the lutein laughing. Just like that. Louis took his musket, took aim, kaboom! It knocked him backwards. But the lutein was still on the back of the horse. Louis took his bucket of holy water, threw it on the lutein, who screamed. They went out onto the ice and fell through the ice. And that was the last they had ever seen of the lutein or Blessed Gabrielle. Hey, I didn't write it. And so it was later on that evening. St. John the Baptizer came to Louis in his dream. And what do you think he told him? He said, Louis, you've been bragging. That is why you lost Gabrielle. What did Louis learn from this? What? Never to brag again, and from that moment on, he always used his horses to plow the farms and give his share of the crops to the poor. And so this is a legend of Grosse Pointe Farms, and so it is even to this day. Very good, little lutein. Another legend for you. But I need Susie Berschbach for this. Oh, she's by the donuts. Oh no, she's not. There she is. Oh, I thought about you playing this for a long time, Madame.
A wig, another wig.
Oh, maybe you can adjust it to how it needs to be. There we go. Here is the story of the haunted cabin. It goes like this. There was a man named Philippe who owed some money to an old lady. Now you've got to act old, Susie Berschbach. She would say to him,
Oh, Philippe, when will you pay me my money? When will you pay me my money?
and Philippe would always say, oh, I'll pay you next week, I'll pay you next month. But do you think Philippe ever did this? No. And the old lady would say,
Oh, Philippe, I need the money so much. I need the money so much. I'm so poor. I'm so poor.
and Philippe always said, next week, next week. And so it was. He went to the cabin one night. You can just crouch right there, looking old. Philippe went to the cabin one night, and as he lit his fire, the most mysterious sound appeared. And all of you can make this sound with me. Are you ready? So much afraid, he walked outside of the cabin and looked around. He thought maybe his friends were playing a joke on him. But no, he saw nothing. And he went back in and put more firewood on the fire, and he heard the sound again. Oh, this greatly scared him. And he ran back to the old lady and he said, Madame, has your husband come back from the dead? And she said,
No,
Are you sure?
No.
And so it was. Philippe, he ran back to the cabin. He just wanted to make sure it wasn't the ghost of her dead husband. And so it was. He warmed his hands by the fire, which was almost going out, but he put more firewood on the fire and he heard the noise again. Oh, this greatly scared him. He grabbed his money bag and ran to the old lady, for he knew that in that cabin was the ghost of her dead husband. And he pounded on the door. Boom, boom, boom. And she very slowly opened the door. Let's all make a creaking sound. And there was Philippe. He was so scared that the hair on his back was standing up. He said, "Oh, Madame, forgive me, please. I've heard the ghost of your dead husband, and all this time I've owed you money and I haven't paid it to you, and I feel so bad about this. Please take the money and everything else that I have to offer." And she said,
Philippe, there is one problem. My husband, he's not dead. He's away in Quebec.
and then Philippe said, "Well, then what is that noise coming from the fireplace?" And she said,
So look for yourself.
and so it was. Philippe walked back to the cabin on his own. And let's see, I've got that very creature right here in my drum bag. This was the creature that greatly frightened Philippe. Are you ready? Yeah! Just an owl. And so it is, even to this day. Very big hand for Susie Birchbach. Oh, yes. Here is the next story for you, and it's the scariest story of them all. Once, there was a beautiful young lady named Archange. Oh, let's see here. Oh, you can play Archange. Archange was very beautiful. She would use her fan like this because she was very shy. No. Yes. All the young men thought that she was the most beautiful creature they had ever seen in the Grosse Pointe, and so it is. And then one day, a man named La Fontaine saw her and said, "Archange, someday we will be married." And she looked at La Fontaine and thought that he was the most handsome voyageur she had ever seen. But you know something? There was somebody else who lived in the woods who desperately thought that he was much more handsome than La Fontaine. Oh, let's see here. I need a little boy for this. Oh, you right there, Blondie, come on up here. But there was one problem. Oh, he was not only very ugly. Where is my other prop? Ah, here it is. Turn around. How ugly was he? He was this ugly.
What is that?
Oh. Well, okay. Okay, thank you. This was the creature that wanted to marry Archange. Oh my goodness. Everyone say, "Oh." And so it was. One day, now don't get hurt, the werewolf chased are changé through the forest. Go, 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 but don't get hurt. Don't get, and he never catches her, by the way. She was very fast. Hey, they'll sleep well tonight, huh? And so it was. He chased her right to the edge of the lake. Stop right there. And there it was on that spot. Archange said, "Oh, dear Lord! Oh, dear Lord!
Oh dear Lord!
Help me!"
Help me!
And it was from that moment that this giant catfish raised its head out of the water and swallowed the werewolf down. Gone. And on that very spot, if you go to see this boulder, even now, on a street called Provencal-Weir, you'll see the footprint of the werewolf. And from that moment on, no French Canadian has ever eaten catfish. And so it is to this very day. And now, might be time for a little bit of singing. This is a special request from this young lady right here. Stand up. Tell everyone your name. Lauren. Now, it's true that many, many years ago, after the French had long disappeared from this area, then the Scotch and Irish arrived, and I saw one of the scariest things I'd ever seen, a man in a skirt. But I found out that that skirt was called a kilt. Now, it's also very strange that this is the song I'm getting noted for. A Frenchman getting noted for a Scottish song. That's pretty scary, too. It's called Donald, Where's Your Trousers? And we're all going to sing it together. Now, here is the chorus. Let me repeat it for you. Let the wind blow high. Let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? That's the chorus. Now, every verse has 4 lines. On the 4th line, it's, Donald, where's your trousers? And that's the line that you're going to have to sing back to me. The 4th line, so you have to pay attention. And here's how the music goes to Donald, Where's Your Trousers? Now, this is a true story, incidentally. A few weeks ago, I was in a supermarket doing some shopping. A lady comes up to me and says, I know you. I said, really? From where? She said, you sing Donald, Where's Your Trousers, don't you? I said, yes, I do. She said, you did a show 2 months ago, and that's the only song I've been hearing for the last 8 weeks. All right, so here's how the music goes. Are you ready? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Okay, let's try it together. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? You can do better than that. We'll try it one more time. You can clap along, too. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Very good. Well, I just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm not very big and I'm awfully shy. Lassies shout as I go by. Donald, where's your trousers? Oh my! Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Well, I went down to London town to have a little fun on the underground. The ladies turned their heads around, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Very good. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Well, I went to a fancy ball. It was slippery in the hall, and I was afraid that I might fall. Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I go. All the lassies shout hello, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Very good. Well, now it's time to find out who the most flirtatious girl or woman in Grosse Pointe is on this evening. And so, we're going to choose one in just a minute. Oh, let's see here. Oh, why don't you come and try? Come on up here. Oh, how about you two? You can't hide behind your little one. Somebody else they don't know. Must be her. All right. Ladies, you're going to have to step up on the stage so that we can all see your faces under the light. Go, right up there. All right. Can we see these beautiful ladies? Here is what we're going to do. We're going to see which one of them is the most flirtatious Grosse Pointe lady of them all. And at the very end, we're going to clap our hands for the one who is the most flirtatious. Now, out in the distance, they see some brave French soldiers. Now, there's an oxymoron, isn't that, gentlemen? Brave French soldiers. We French, we didn't make very good soldiers because we missed our mother's cooking too much. So, here is how this goes. Are you ready, ladies? Off in the distance are the brave French Marines. Now, ladies, you're going to have to be able to see me. Let's move over just a little bit. Put your hands up like this. Are you ready? Put your hands on your hips and wiggle those hips. Well, you know something? Those brave French Marines don't even see what's happening here. You see, many years ago in Grosse Pointe, this is how you say Grosse Pointe in French, all these beautiful ladies would have had a chaperone. It could have been their big sister, could have been their auntie, could have been their grandmother to watch over them because they weren't allowed to talk to boys without a chaperone. And so it is right now. The chaperone goes to get some donuts and cider. And so they're going to flirt with those brave French soldiers. But you see, none of them saw them flirting. So now they have to turn it up a notch. Now they have to make it even more flirtatious. this still doesn't get their attention. So, this is what they do. It's something called moulanet. In French, that's windmill, like Windmill Point right here in Grosse Pointe. So, here's what you do, ladies. Take your fans, move them in a figure 8, like this, and follow me. I only do this for demonstration purposes, okay? I don't get a vote.
Pretty natural.
Here is what we do, ladies. Are you ready? Put your hands on your hips and follow me.
The camera, okay? You can see good right there. I know you do, buddy. It'll take time. He's pulling. He's pulling.
Well, this definitely gets their attention. But now there's a problem because here comes the chaperone. She's got a full belly full of donuts and cider. So here comes the brave French Marines, but they look better far away than they do up close. So this is what you do. Show them your left hand. And point to that left hand with your fan. This means I'm engaged. And gentlemen, we all know what this means. Get lost. And so, let us vote with a show of applause for the most beautiful, flirtatious French woman of them all. Good. 3. 4. 4 is 4. I don't need a French lesson from you. Go sit down. Madame. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the most flirtatious French woman in Grosse Pointe. Thank you. Big hand for everyone. Well, now it's time to embarrass the gentleman. Hey! Oh, let's see here. What's that? Yes, ladies. Thank you very much. Excuse me. And here's someone right over here trying to pretend like I don't see him. Come on up here.
Oh, Bill will be so proud. Yes, he'll be so proud. I have a very edge job. Just go see.
Well, monsieur, almost done, folks, almost done. Listen up. Monsieur, tell us your name.
Colin.
Colin. That sounds like a good Scottish name, doesn't it? Scottish? Irish? Irish? Something's still not right. Now he looks like a French voyageur. We're going to, whoops, excuse me. We're going to find out how well Colin can sing. Colin is going to lead you in song. I am going to sing a verse. I'm going to sing it to Colin. Colin's going to repeat it to you, and you will sing it back. It's very simple. Did you sing in school? None at all. Oh, this ought to be great. All right, are you ready? Right up to the mic, my friend.
Like that?
Oh, yeah. We'll give you some more juice. All right, here we go. Let's find out how well Colin can sing.
I know a man, his name is Jacques.
All of you repeat.
I know a man, his name is Jacques.
As hard as a rock. He's got a head as hard as a rock.
He's got a head as hard as a rock.
Here's the easy part. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everyone together. He's got a head as hard as a rock.
He's got a head as hard as a rock.
Very good. Should I join you? No, I don't think so. Here we go. Next verse. I know a man, his name is Pierre.
I know a man, his name is Pierre. I know a man,
His name is Pierre.
caught the fleas and lost his hair.
Hey, 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 hey. They do it better than you do. Maybe we should all do that part together. What do you think? Help poor Colin out here. Hey, 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 hey,
Caught the fleas and lost all his hair.
Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sing a verse. Colin's going to sing a verse. I'll tell Colin what to sing, but now he has to act it out. What's the name of your best friend? Male friend? Jim. Ready? Jim made breakfast early one morning.
Jim made breakfast early one morning.
I got so sick, wish I'd never been born.
Got so sick, wish he'd been born.
Hey, 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 hey. I got so sick, I wish I'd never been born.
Got so sick, I'd never been born.
What do you say I help Colin? All right, we'll do it together, Colin. Are you ready? Just like the Beatles, we'll share a mic. Are you ready? Here we go. I know a girl, her name is Bobette. She ain't met a meal that she ain't like yet. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, hey, hey. She ain't met a meal that she ain't like yet. Jean has a wife back in old Quebec. She's 400 pounds below the neck. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah. She's 400 pounds below the neck. Very good. I know a girl, her name is Monique.
I know a girl, her name is Monique.
She ain't real pretty and she ain't real sweet.
She ain't real pretty and she ain't real sweet.
Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, hey, yeah. She ain't real pretty and she ain't real sweet.
Ain't real pretty and she ain't real sweet.
Let's give a big hand to Colin. And so, my friends, I think we've come to about the end of our first show. I need to give my voice a rest. Why don't you go get some cider and donuts, and please don't trip over the cords.
there down the street.
Yeah. Chloe, come back. Mommy. Show you about yourself?
Then I tried to do it the second year, and we one of these things. It's a autograph book. I'm glad you guys had fun. It was fun. Good. Good. Right there. Don't put it on your shirt. Here's your brown.
There's some brown here. Megan, every time you do color.
Don't drop Haley's. It's a short step black right there.
Tell me, don't drop Haley's. You can give her that one.
Whose is that? Mine's right here. Okay, come on, Peter. Haley.
Yeah, pick out your napkin. Okay, are you getting ready? Hang on. Your napkin. You ready? There you go. Welcome. Okay. Still some on the grill.
I'll stop.
A good one here.
All right.
The
that's good.
unveiling.
Yeah,
Here's the unveiling.
There you go. We'll take that light. That's beautiful. Excellent. Oh, I have to grab something here, right?
Yes, you have to grab a napkin. I don't want to get it on your
Let's see if I can do both at the same time.
Good luck.
Okay. There it is. Now if I could turn this off. Before I burn my hand. Wow. Okay.
It's right in my eyes.
pretty tired of frying.
Part about it. Blackboard that I got out of the
Hi, John. I didn't get this last time, so I thought I'd do a little filming of the. I couldn't convert it to the VHS, so, but I brought the thing. I think it will fit on the TV.
Did you get the message to Raj on repair the lawn?
Probably the wrong time to do it.
He said it if he can. He puts his socks on.
Well, I'm sure you could do that.
Yeah, we can do that then. Hi, Dick.
We always see the answer to the question. Voiceover that when somebody's
How about that one?
He's the carpenter.
So you doing a good time that night? That was a
sounds like
interesting place. I've never seen anybody imitate a dog.